Hello friends, today we're going to make some delicious blueberry muffins. So let's get started. So it's a pretty basic recipe, but using good ingredients to make it taste good. So delicious food doesn't have to be expensive. So there are lots of different ways you can make something taste good. So I'll offer some alternatives as I'm talking about the recipe today. So we're going to start off by putting about a cup of sugar, 3/4 cup of sugar, and about a 1/4 cup of maple syrup. That's going to be our sweetener. Now, you can also use honey if you like honey. Honey gives it a nice taste as well. We're going to now take an egg and we're going to mix the egg with our sugar. Mix it well. So our other wet ingredients are going to be some vanilla. So we're going to add about a teaspoon of vanilla to this as well. A little bit more, nice healthy teaspoon of vanilla. I know it's not a standardized measuring device for those of you who are purists about measuring. And to this, I'm going to add some butter that I pre-melted already and let it cool a little bit just to make sure it's not too hot. I'm going to go against the edge of the bowl just to make sure it doesn't cook the egg. So that's about a 1/2 cup of butter that I added, by the way. So as far as our other wet ingredients go, I'm going to also add some kefir. Now, it just happens I have blueberry kefir today. And since I'm making blueberry muffins, it makes sense to use that. So we're going to use about 1/2 cup of kefir. We'll add that to our mixture. That's very nice. So the mixture is very smooth now and ready to start adding our wet ingredients. This mixture is nice and smooth and well incorporated. We're ready to start adding our dry ingredients. Okay, so our dry ingredients will be 2 cups of flour, all-purpose flour, or if you want to use cake flour, you can use cake flour as well. About a teaspoon of salt. And I'm going to use my chef measurement for that. If you have an actual teaspoon measure, that'd be even better. Nice healthy teaspoon and a half. Mix that up a little bit in the flour before we actually add it to the wet ingredients. That's looking great. What I didn't say before is I also like to add a little bit of lemon juice. And since I don't have any fresh lemons today, I'm going to add about, let's say, 1/8 cup, maybe 2 tablespoons of lemon juice to my wet ingredients. And then I'm going to gradually fold in my dry ingredients. The key is with the muffins, you don't want to overmix. If you start mixing too much, you form gluten strands, and the muffins will not be very appealing. The texture will not be appealing. It'll be good for bread, but not for muffins. So I'm just kind of folding those dry ingredients in gently, not doing too much with this. Just enough so the batter is wet. So I'm almost coming up and down a little bit here too, and not mixing vigorously. Just kind of going, getting the edges, working in the dry ingredients. So now I think we're ready to add our blueberries. So we don't want to damage the blueberries too much. So we're just going to gently fold them as well into the batter. Not doing too much. That's looking really good. It's okay if there's a little flour that's not mixed. It's better to have a little undermix than overmix with muffins. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some big muffins today, nice large ones. So I have some butter. I'm just going to basically butter the muffin tin. Get a little bit in each one of these. And sometimes you have to get your hands dirty a little bit. Butter the pan nicely. I remember when I was growing up, my mom used to make muffins all the time. And she would sometimes make them right into the pan like this. And it's nice to have, obviously, to have the muffin tin so you don't have to have the cleanup, but there's nothing like the taste of the brown butter on the bottom of the muffin. So that's kind of the way we're going to go today. Notice I put a little bit on the top and the sides too. So if they rise above that point, what will happen is the muffins won't stick. Now, what I didn't say before is I preheated my oven to 350. And I'm just going to use a little ice cream scooper here and just scoop out a little bit into each one of these cells. So let's do that. About 2 scoops each will do it. That one's a nice healthy one already. If I'm lucky, I'll get 6 muffins out of this. I'm just gonna make it. You might have to reportion some of the other ones. And the rubber spatula actually comes in handy for a case like this when you want to get the last little bit off the edge of the bowl. Love the rubber spatula. And there we go. This one got a little cheated, so let's take a little batter, move it over. Make sure they're pretty uniform. This guy really got the lion's share. All right, that's looking pretty good. Into the oven we go for about 10 to 15 minutes, depending on your oven. We'll put them initially for 10 and see how that goes. We'll come back and we'll see how our delicious muffins came out. Okay, looks like our muffins are ready. Let's take them out of the oven and see how they look. Oh, those are beautiful. So we'll let these cool off a little bit and we can try them out. Maybe a little slab of butter. Oh boy, can't wait.